In the name of God, a very good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm thoroughly delighted to have joined you at the International Conference on Financing. At the very outset, on behalf of the Securities and Exchange Organization of Iran, I'd like to thank you very much indeed for giving us the honor of your presence at this online conference. I think it is fair to say that this program is not only to provide a solid opportunity for exchange of ideas, but also to create a platform for engagement among our high-level participants, capital market leaders, and practitioners. Today, we've got the pleasure to having some of the influential and prominent personalities and business leaders, thinkers, and scholars that are shaping the finance industry and beyond. Well-established and high-caliber lecturer, panelists, and participants from across the globe, and of course, our noted Iranian team of capital market professionals. Let me also appreciate the indispensable efforts of the conscientious, energetic, and hardworking organizers of the conference, including my colleagues at the SEO and, of course, the conference sponsors for their support, which has been instrumental in the success of this important event. Today, I would like to identify and discuss 3 themes with you. These themes are quite general, and I hope they will give you a good framework for thinking about internationalization of the Iranian capital market and the way ahead. The first theme has to do with the issues around internationalization and what we actually mean by that term. Secondly, we'll be discussing the newly won status of the Iranian capital market as a force to be reckoned with on both national and international levels. And thirdly and finally, we'll be looking into the future and the steps we are planning to take to further internationalize our market. Starting off with the first theme, there is unfortunately a narrow definition of internationalization, which has become commonplace. And that is internationalizations being reduced to a figure, and that figure is the value of foreign investment. Foreign investments. But I think it's fair to say that this assumption is far from reality and doesn't do justice to what internationalization actually represents. So just examining the value of foreign investment portfolios that in fact has more than doubled over the course of the past year, and I've got to admit is due to the rise in the index and even the number of foreign investors, which stood at just over 1,600 a year ago, is now approaching 3,500, doesn't tell the whole picture. Participation of our foreign partners in our capital market, not just as investors in our products, but also as investors in our financial institutions, as funders and advisors in our capital market entities, is at least equally important. A number of our rating agencies being licensed as joint ventures with Asian and European partners is a quite appropriate example here. Yet another important element of internationalization, in my view, is our interaction with our fellow regulators on bilateral, multilateral, and international levels. On a bilateral level, our MOUs and joint projects with a limited number of carefully targeted capital market regulators, such as Germany, Oman, Greece, India, China, South Korea, and Iraq, could be mentioned. Our focus here is on establishing constructive, deep, and long-lasting relationships with a limited number of targeted partners, rather than shallow ones which lack means and substance. On a multilateral level, mention could be made of our membership in the Islamic Financial Service Board, IFSB, which is a standard-setting organization mainly bringing Islamic regulators together. Another example is SEO's membership in COMSEC, which is short for the Standing Committee for Economic and Commercial Cooperation, which is under the OIC, which stands for the Organization of the Islamic Cooperation. Iran is also a member of COMSEC capital market regulators. From COMSEC Capital Market Regulators Forum is the chair of one of its task forces, i.e. the Task Force for Financial Literacy, and the vice chair of the Task Force for Market Development. So we are quite proactive there. Now, as far as the international level is concerned, there is one date in the Iranian capital market calendar which really stands out, and that date is the 27th of November 2018. On that date, after 13 years of work, alignment with the required standards and tough negotiations, the SEO eventually managed to become an ordinary member of IOSCO, International Organization of Securities Commissions. As you know, IOSCO is recognized as the global standard setter for the securities sector. Its membership regulates over 95% of the world's securities markets. IOSCO's members have resolved to cooperate in developing, implementing, and promoting adherence to internationally recognized and consistent standards for regulation, oversight, and enforcement to protect investors, maintain fair, efficient, and transparent markets, and seek to address systemic risks. I think there are 2 points we can draw from that. The first is that Iran is now a part of the decision-making process when it comes to developing international standards, and the second and equally important point is that looking at the 3 objectives of IOSCO that I just stated, we are communicating the message to our partner and market participants, whether international or local, that will do whatever it takes to help you navigate a market which is hopefully fair, efficient, and transparent. So our IOSCO ordinary membership really stands out. I think it is fair to say that never in the recent history of the country's capital market has there been such an extensive international capital market, if not international economic project that would require so much effort and determination over such a long period of time. Now, talking of historic moments, let me draw your attention to the fact that our capital market is making history as we speak, which is the second theme I'd like to discuss with you. Last year, we were looking at a market with around 10 million investors. Now it is over 50 million. Market cap is now hovering around 300 billion US dollars. It used to be around half that figure. Daily trade value at our 4 exchanges was around 300 million US dollars just a year ago. It's now over 1 billion US dollars daily. What a difference does a year make? I think it's fair to say that the Iranian capital market is now a force to be reckoned with on both national and international levels. And this newly won status requires maintenance, and when it comes to the international side of it, I think, of course, we need to make sure that we organize ourselves so that we can live up to the expectations of our foreign partners and be there for them when they need us. In other words, we need to make sure that we, as the regulator of the Iranian capital market, are even more approachable, responsible, protective, and responsive as we used to. This is definitely one of the most important steps we need to take as we experience a much bigger and deeper capital market at a time when diplomacy seems to win over unilateralism. Now, as we think about the potential trajectory of Iran's market, I encourage you also to look at other countries and their market development. Yes, there will be challenges as domestic markets internationalize and integrate foreign participation on a large scale, and they are not for everyone. But it is because of this challenge that outsized opportunities are available to those who can carefully manage them. In managing the challenges of participating in the Iranian market, it will be important to be patient, take a long-term view, find trusted domestic partners, and form your own conclusions. As a gatekeeper for foreign capital market investment, we are here to welcome, guide, and support you in our market, and to help you navigate to success. We'll explore new partnerships across the globe, partnerships that are meant to last. We'll also try to establish a firmer foothold in the international organizations. We'll do whatever it takes to further internationalize our market. And we definitely love to see you as a part of that process. Thank you, and stay safe.